Oh, hey, it's you again. How's it going? Welcome back. Or, welcome, if this is your first visit. Uh, Lately I've been playing a lot of No Man's Sky. And I know I've noticed a lot of people like building videos, watching people build stuff, live streams of building. And I don't consider myself by any means a master builder. But I am a builder nonetheless. If you give me a game and it has the ability to build, craft, design, I'm all about it, and I'll usually get obsessed for a little bit. Minecraft was really one of the first games that tapped into that overall. But even before that, I mean, if a game offered a level designer, I was on it. Time Splitters is a series that is well known for its map making that was underrated. I made lots of maps in Halo, and anything that would give me the ability to create stuff, I was there. Now, I've never been, again, a master builder. If I wanted to be somebody who built, a Death Star, an Iron Giant, or, rebuilt a scene from my favorite movie, I could do that. I mean, anybody can do it. Just give us some time and learn what you're doing, and you could do it. That's not really my style, though. There's plenty of people out there that are just fucking amazing. In fact, every time I think I did something that I think is cool, I see something on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere else that gets shared, and it blows my mind. I'm always like, oh, well, shit, fuck me, I guess I suck. But that's not the case. You know what? There's room for everyone, and everybody has their own unique styles. Me personally, my style when it comes to No Man's Sky is actually more of a, I like to build things that blend in. So more often than not, I like to build something that doesn't look like it's been built. Very often you can tell something has been built by a player because it's just crappy. A couple walls in a building, a roof and a floor, or just, very basic. Or you can tell that a player built it because it's so amazing that it's not possible to be natural, and that definitely somebody built it. I like to be in between. I like to build things that look like they belong there, and that you wouldn't actually think, hey, wait, you built that? Oh, I thought that was part of the game. That's the kind of stuff I like to try to do. Make it natural, make it flow. And that's kind of, guess, what I was going to talk about a little bit. Well, I'm just going to show off my settlement. I've done a lot of design work in the settlement itself. Like I said, I'm less of a builder and more of a designer, honestly. Give me an area and I will decorate it. I will design out what'll make it look better, what'll pop. But if it comes to building it out, I get overwhelmed because I have too many ideas and they conflict. But with the settlements, they really, first of all, you don't by default get access to all the build options or decoration options. They're very limited within the settlement, which is kind of counterintuitive. You feel a little bit gypped, hey, wait, this is my settlement, can't I decorate it? Well, fear not. If you weren't aware, the best thing to do, what I did and what many people do, go to your overseer's office, pick a direction, go that direction about 250 to 300 units, put down a base computer, and then you can go and you can put stuff all around your office. You can build, almost within most of the town, actually. But if you want to just, have access to all the building options within your settlement, that's the best way to do it. My big tip, take a tip from me, it's don't build buildings within your settlement. It's very obvious where your settlement has been stamped down. They have a very, very defined parameter where they've been stamped down. Don't build buildings within that because it's made to fill up that whole area. It's a, procedurally based growing town. And so all of that space will be taken up eventually. And you don't want to make, a building that conflicts with something else. However, there is nothing wrong with building around your city in a way that it looks natural. As you'll see, I took over the hillside above my town, overlooking my settlement, and that's where I started, building buildings that incorporated, that looked like they belong there, as well as a few little, things for like story. Because as a giant dork, I made up a whole story for my settlement and like why it's there, the whole like area on the planet, the people. I made a video previously that's like a silly diary of an overseer, and I'll continue making silly videos along those lines. However, today I just wanted to show some of the things I've built, some of the things I've done. I've found that like oftentimes when it comes to building in this game, it's not necessarily that I don't know how to do something, it's just that you don't think about certain things. Right before the Frontiers came out, I had just discovered / it dawned on me that I could put down a computer at almost any prefabricated area. And before, I did that because my main base is at a manufacturing facility. However, I wasn't thinking outside the box until I saw somebody else posting that they had their base built at a trade post, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm gonna go do something like that. And then at the same time, I had just discovered the planetary archives were a thing, and I was like, wait, if you can build at a trade post, you could build at an archive. And the archive is basically like a trade post plus more. So I started building at the planetary archives and just kind of like blending in something cool that like adds to the archive itself, as well as with the truck stops. And then Frontiers came out, and the settlement is cooler than anything. So it's like, obviously I'm gonna try to set myself up with the best settlement, the best, like, put it in my favorite planet, all that stuff. And that's what I did. And I tell you what, it's worth it to switch settlements, to go ahead and get one that you want with the type of, the race you want, the system you want, all of that. It's worth it. It doesn't matter how far along you are right now in your settlement. If part of you is like, I don't really like this spot, go for it. Switch it up. I'm telling you, like, unless a bug happens that like prevents you from like doing anything, which does happen, but they're getting fixed, so don't worry about it. But like, don't settle for your settlement. Get the one you want. It's worth it. You'll get it up to S class in no time, and you'll be making money and all that. So don't worry about being stuck with your settlement. Pick the one you want, and then from there, like I said, you're obviously going to want to build and decorate around it, but don't build buildings in the area it's stamped down in. Build around it, outside of it. Do decorations within the settlement. Put stuff on walls and in buildings that already exist, because they're already there. Other than that, like, just have fun, and I'm going to show a little tour around what I've done, and, I'll point out a few things I've done here and there, and how I, stroke my own ego, I guess, and, how I feel like they enhance the area or what I was trying to do, whatever. And maybe you'll see something you didn't think of before, or you'll get inspired to do something yourself. Or on the flip side, maybe you will, have some better ideas or something that would incorporate into something I'm doing, and you want to share those. That's cool too. I'm always open to that. Hell, I'm even open to like making my system, or I've been thinking about making a hub world for anybody who wants to be cool. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna say before we get into it, and hopefully you'll enjoy my settlement. And like I said, maybe something will spark your fancy or find something cool there. And it's not going to be an in-depth, this is how I built this. It's just going to be like, this is what I did, this is why I did it, and this is why I think it's cool. And maybe a few tips here and there. But for the most part, like I said, there's so many better builders and so many people already doing very focused content on every type of build. So if you want to know how to do a certain thing, or like you need inspiration, there's plenty of people who would tell you, have videos specifically detailing how to do certain things. I'm not that guy. I'm just going to give you a tour, tell you kind of what I do, where my ideas come from, and if I've got like something I got from somebody else, I'll drop that too. So there you go. All right. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. Okay. So you pretty much just saw, like, a bunch of B-roll footage of my settlement. And so I'm gonna spare you, like, re-seeing that. The settlements are all pretty much different because they are procedurally generated, but I'm assuming, like everything else, there's probably a lot of similarities in the settlements themselves. So there's nothing special about mine. It's Korvax. There's nothing inherently different or special about it other than it's Korvax. The planet I am on is a paradise planet. It is a bioluminescent red planet. You'll see when it becomes daytime, or in any of the daytime shots, it is like a red bleached out, and then at night it's this beautiful set of colors that I just love it. That's why I have so much B-roll footage. That's why I picked this planet to have my settlement on, and even if it costs me, you know, a couple of bugs and starting over on my settlement, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get going. That's my little pet from the expedition. I just finished that last night. Super tight. He doesn't do anything super special, but he is cool. Anyway, basic village, basic settlement. It's always evolving and growing, so it's hard to like show, you know, anything. Well, actually right now it's bugged. I'm stuck on a build op that is bugged out, so it won't do anything. So right now my settlement is frozen, but that is my overseer's office. Always takes a minute for it to just kind of get all the details in, which we'll check out later because that's the most places I've decorated are the overseer office, obviously. I put that, what do you call it? You know, the summoner for your exocraft. I put that up there. I figured it was a really good spot to put it on top of a building. It looks natural. Looks like it's some kind of radar building, but it also allows me to call any of my exocraft in whenever I need to, if I want to. And then I've got basically this junk pile. I just kind of tried to blend it in with the junk that's already back here. I'm still trying to figure out how to power this thing. The health does not, like, you know how you put it on a pre-built building and you power the building and it powers it. It doesn't have its own electrical node, so I'm struggling with that. But when I get it working, that'll be a health spot just for when you need it. Got my save point. And then my teleporter that goes up to basically my favorite part of the build, which this was obviously an empty cliff. And I started with that. Well, actually I started with some landing pads, and then that was part of what I'm about to show you was that piece. And then as I saw that sticking up over the ledge, I was like, oh, that's really cool. It needs a little bit more so that, like, when you're farther away, you know, I wanted to build sort of basically like an airport. Like, I thought of an airport, but for space, so a spaceport, starport, and sort of along the lines of a modern airport, but not as big because you don't need all that space taken up. So you got, you know, just a simple little hut for traveling down to the city and back. But this is our starport. I'm actually pretty proud of this build just because, like, it's not special or anything, but it looks good. It looks good. It looks like it fits. This is the Navigation and Research Center, where this is one of the community pieces from the anomaly. All the pieces this time around were really cool. I was excited to get all of them. This obviously would be like the computer research room. Not too difficult to like put together anything. I mean, obviously I just put a bunch of screens and computer looking shit together, built an office, made it look kind of like it would. And you know, you add a couple little pieces here and there. And you know, this is where they do their research for the navigation. This is obviously the star chart, and then I put the portal here because I figured this was a great spot to have visitors coming in and out. And there's 4 landing pads, so you know, there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. It makes it look very busy. It keeps the city alive. now my city has obviously like 3 or 4 of its own landing pads. So with my built ones and the ones that are in my city, always ships flying around, landing and taking off. It really is, it feels alive. And it's a little thing, but like it's a big thing. Like if you play this game like I do and you enjoy it and just love it in the ways that I do, it's a big thing. This is the, I guess you would call it the visitor center, the rest station, you know, like it's got, I just added these, I just figured out how to plop these up here, but I thought it looked cool to have like the screens facing down, you know, giving information, stocks, star trades, wanted posters for bounty hunters, I don't know. There's another star room up here because it just looks cool. And then you've got like the lounge area, nothing fancy. Again, just like the health thing, this is a light, and it lights up when you put it in a pre-built room with power to it, but it has no power node of its own, and so it's supposed to light up in a ring of light, and does not. If I figure out how to do so, I will, but until then it just looks like that. But yeah, that's the basic lounge, you know, you can kick it. Had a rough, you know, flight, or you almost got attacked by pirates, so you kick it. Got our banners from our battles that we've won, and our statue of the sentinels that we destroy all the time. And that's basically that. And then I put the terminal in here, and then again I tried to see if it would work if you put it on one of these walls. It does not. So again, just for decoration right now. And these buildings just kind of go up. I used, as you can see, where the screens are, those are the folding door rooms. I like the way they look as windows, and then like if you want, you can power them and use them in different ways. This right here, this floor right here is the same thing. That is actually 2 of those doors open. There's a well, I was gonna show you, but that's a hard way. Usually I would record this and then talk, but this time around I just thought for the tour it'd be easier. But yeah, you go in here, and this is just 2 of those doors opened up, and they've created a floor. I thought it looked good, and it worked for what I wanted. Oh my god. Just don't go up here, because you get stuck. But it worked for what I wanted, and it created this like this open airway walkway, which I'm a fan of. Again, just like a little nerdy design thing. I'm a fan of open air walkways. If you live in Florida or California, or maybe even the Southwest, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so this is the Starport, and it blends in really well with the rest of the town. It's really natural. I like it, and that's the most, I guess, proud thing I am proud of. However words work. Anyway, as far as the nerdy stuff goes, so my town, basically the idea is that the planet, I call it Magenta Prime, and I name it after my friend. I have one of my dearest friends and old roommates. He has a jam band called Mr. Magenta, which is on Spotify and YouTube, and if you're inclined, you can check them out. I'm always down to plug him, because literally his CD is the only CD in my car, and it has been for like a couple years now. It's great driving music, and it's just good background and good jamming music. But anyway, so just because that's how I am, I name things after things I love. This planet reminded me of the just the feeling of Mr. Magenta, so I called it Magenta Prime. And then one day I got the idea that Mr. Magenta would also be my nickname for the Atlas, because I thought that was kind of cool. So I refer to him but the name itself came from my friend's band, and that's a real thing you can check out. I plug it sometimes just because I love it, and That's where my name came from. So the city is called Mr. Magenta's Mystical Metropolis. I have another. I turned off my HUD, but I have another truck stop or trade stop base called Mr. Magenta's Musical Mart, and I have another one called like Mr. Magenta's Funk Stop. That's what it is. And so the whole planet is just sort of like an homage to my friend and the sort of idea of the character of his band, which is Mr. Magenta. And from there I turned it into, like I said, I was like, oh, that's actually a cool name for the Atlas. So basically the story is that the Atlas contacted my character here, my main guy, and told him he had something for him to do. And the settlers here are Korvax, as if you've seen my Overseer video, I refer to them as those Korvax nerds. They discovered this ancient outpost here, or observatory, basically, which obviously I built, and it's like, basically I did a simple star shape and a bunch of just archways, walls, and rooftops with some walls going up. It's nothing, again, I'm not a major builder. It's more to blend in. Inside I just put a little terrarium for fun. Needed something in here. And then at the top, to fit with the theme, it is an ancient observatory. I put I wanted to build something that looked like a real observatory with a telescope and that shape, but I could not, I couldn't fathom it myself, because again, I'm not like one of those builders who knows, like, thinks about like how glitching things together works. So I did the best I could, and then the best idea I had was to put this up here, because it kind of like gets the idea across. And then I made it a little, you know, computer room, which is the first little computer room I kind of made, and that was what sparked me to make the one down in the Starport. And then from there, let's see, as far as the more nerd stuff goes, then all these mushrooms are base parts that I bought from the Anomaly, and I like these ones because they glow and they're red and they match the planet, so I made a field of them. And the story behind that is that basically there's also some ancient creature that has died and is buried under here, and for some reason these mushrooms only grow here because of his decaying, or its decaying body. And the theory is also that the planet itself, it's bioluminescence. However, they only grow here in this one spot, so the Korvax decided to stick around and build a settlement to study both the ancient observatory, because obviously that was here for a reason, and these strange mushrooms, which if you watch the Overseer video I made, you'll know what they do. Anyway, the last part of the build is when I, again, I took my Overseer's office, I turned around, and I walked about 300 units, and I put down a base. And that is actually on the other side of that hill, which I've got a teleporter connected to, and we'll go there now. It's the first thing that I built and decorated, even though it wasn't visible, because I knew the town was going to evolve, and I wanted to see how it worked before I got around to you know, putting stuff in there, because again, like I mentioned, you don't want to just go building giant buildings in your settlement, because there will be things that get built and either they're going to conflict and bug out, or they're going to pop in to the building you built and it's going to be weird and you'll have to go in and delete stuff. So either way, I started off building and decorating down here, and as I've said previously, I'm a Marvel fanboy. Like, I'm a self-admittedly a Marvel fanboy, but I also am born in the 80s and I grew up loving, as I was saying, I was born in the 80s, I grew up with Batman, it was a part of my childhood, so I'm always going to have a soft spot for like parts of my childhood, i.e. things like to... Oh, come on, guys. Sorry, you know how this game is. In fact, I might have to cut some of this. Okay, here we go. All right, and this is my batcave. There's not giant coins, so I did like giant implements, and I made a giant table set and a giant, well, I guess technically that could be actual size and not giant, but you know what I mean. Some giant implements. This shelf was gonna be my Rick and Morty garage shelf, but you can't actually stack things, at least I was not able to stack things on, fuck, I'll even show you, screw it. Like no matter what size, can't put anything on the actual shelf, unless, like, even if you do the free mode to get it on there, it's like, I don't know, maybe I don't know what I'm doing and there's a better way. Now I gotta put this back. But anyway, since I could not see, even those items are floating right now, since I could not get shelf should work, I stopped making my Rick and Morty shelf. And anyway, here's a little like lounge room, some kind of space hookah, and some decorations. And then I got my nip, and then I got a nice little weapon wall. And since I couldn't make my shelf the way I wanted to, I made a Rick and Morty desk or table. So you got the Meeseeks box right there, you got your box of experiments and the seeds that Morty stuck up his butt in the first episode, and then you've got, like I said, I made like a bat cave. That was the first thing I made that inspired like me to go crazy with the computer building. And well, the tower up there, like I said, was the first like little computer spot I built, and then I was like, oh, let me go crazy. I want to build a batcave. And what else do you call a base you make down in the basement? So, and then I added just, you know, different implements that were new. Like, I love this thing. This thing is so cool looking. Like, it doesn't do anything special, but god damn it, it looks cool. So I had to throw it in here. It looks like it belongs. All in all, like, to me, this, you know, it just looks cool. Like, if I showed it to you, you'd be like, is that a Batcave? Or you'd know what I'm doing, I was going for. So that's all I care about. Then obviously I put one of these in because when I got it, I had to try it out. And then no Batcave is complete without your like appearance modifier. Obviously you would imply that you slide down the pole there and change your appearance and your Batman. And then out here is just my cave system that goes to the back of the town. That was how I accessed everything when I first started. And then again, no Batcave is complete without your bat cycle. Which is, whoops, I forgot this thing's so weird to drive. Which is also how I get around when I didn't have teleporters before, or when I didn't have them set up before. So there's that. Boom. That's my town. And then, oh, the overseer's office. You guys want to see that? Oh, I've already talked so fucking much. Okay, you've seen the back. We'll give it a second to load in. While we're looking at that, or waiting for that, I'll show it. Like, again, just little touches are all you need, because it's already hard enough for this place to load as it is. There's so much going on, and until they really optimize that or re-optimize it, the more you add to it, the harder it's going to be. See, so like these are little mushrooms and implements I added. That's from the expedition. That means this should be loaded. And sure enough, here it is. Okay, so these bulbs are also from the expedition. I love it when you can take an item and make it really, really big and also really, really small, biggest size. These are the mushrooms I set up. These are some other new anomaly mushrooms. Not sure if I like them that much. I just put them in, so I'll probably take them out. And then first things first, I thought that the overseer's office needed a aquarium. And so it was too crowded on the inside. Can't change the size, so I put it on the outside here so that it I could see it out my window when I'm working, but also, you know, it shows that this is the overseer's office, and obviously we want to respect the Atlas and show our, you know, respects. So got a statue of the Atlas, and then we've got our banner from the cartographers Expedition 3. And let's go inside. I got a little Christmas homage right here, little Easter egg Christmas presents under my tree. That finger thing is another new base part. Had to put it in because that just, again, if I get a new base part, I want to use it. Weapon wall, poster, pocket reality. Some more little details I added. Those eggs, the suitcase, the new hanging creepy moss, cave moss, the new bioluminescent bio lamp. I put a locker back there just for fun, and I got my buddy here. You can see him over at the Mr. Musical Mart. He DJs at night over there, so catch him down in the nightclub. Otherwise, he's out here hanging out with me, helping me run things when I'm out here. There's the bubble machine. That's new, that's cool, except for they put this piece on top of it that I don't like. I don't know why it has that, but it sucks. I added this, and put some mushrooms in here. Got a cup, got a couple of dishes. I put one of those in weird anomaly things in there because, again, I like doing that. And then my favorite thing in my office is my chair, because I did an homage to Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, at least to the best of my ability, and within the context of the game, because that guy, that thing looks pretty similar. If you don't know what Dr. Claw and Inspector Gadget is, go look it up, and you'll see what I was going for there. Again, I'm not a master builder or a genius, but you know, I did my best. I would love to show you what it looks like when I'm sitting in it, so I can get that angle from the show, but currently the sitting is bugged, so I'm gonna sit like a 3-year-old on the back side of my chair until I flip over and bonk my head. Anyway, so those are the implements I've added. Again, you don't want to build too big in the settlement because you never know what's going to change or get added. In fact, as I'm saying this, on the PC, they added where the hell it's going to go, because this place is crowded even when I delete all this shit. So it looked like it either was like right here, which would be stupid because I like this, or it was right here in this corner. Either way, I think it's dumb if they add an actual physical teleporter into the office. They obviously can just do like they did for the settlement itself. When you teleport to the settlement, you teleport in at the center of the town at the little main console. Just like when you don't have a teleporter at a base, you teleport to where the base computer is. They should really just add Overseer's office to the list and let you teleport in here without putting something in there, because obviously a bunch of people are going to be decorating their offices and building shit, and then you're going to go and throw a giant teleporter in there and mess it all up. If anything, I hope it goes in this corner. Obviously, this is my least used corner. A teleporter would fit right here perfectly, and I'm absolutely okay with that. I'll move around some of my implements so that they like look better, and then, you know, I'll call it a day. That's fine. But if it goes anywhere else, I'm gonna be mad personally. Otherwise, that's basically the tour of my settlement. My tips as far as that goes are just like I said. Don't build any giant buildings or anything, because you never know where something's gonna pop up and it might, you know, conflict with it. Otherwise, if there's a building already in place, like, use it. Like, go ahead, throw some shit on it, throw some close to it, around it. I assume any of the actual buildings are gonna pretty much stay indefinitely unless there's like options to remove buildings to replace them with something else. Again, my city is broke right now. It's paused until I get through that mission or it resets or whatever. The good news is my sentinels are at 100%, and they have been for 3 days, but since my op is broke, I guess it's keeping them from attacking. I don't know. But my debt is going down. If you ever use time scrubbing, you will fuck with your debt, and that is your punishment. I made a video about that too. So anyway, that's my settlement tour. That's my notes on like building. Another thing I did before I go. Oh my god, this video is gonna be so long. This is stupid. Sorry guys. This town is seaside. It's on the side on the ocean. So when I saw those islands, I thought, oh, you need to have a lighthouse out there, obviously, right? You gotta have a lighthouse if you have a seaside town. I mean, I guess there's people still using space boats or something. I guess your ship is a space boat, but so that is my lighthouse, and there we go. I put one of those star charts in there because it lights up, and all those windows are the automatic doors, and my plan was to set up a system of electricity so alternate opening and closing, and it looks like the light is going around in a circle, which, if I say it out loud, is pretty fucking cool. But in reality, it's kind of hard for me to do because I have never really messed with No Man's Sky and the wiring and logic in this game, so that's like, I don't want to dive into it. I tried to do it with a beat byte switch and music system because that's more my mentality. I can use notes and music and make that work, but that got to be like way too many like tedious timing and note structure things to get it to work the way I wanted. And I know there's a really simple answer, but since I don't play with this part of the game, I don't know it yet. If you do, let me know. If you're making it this far into a building or tour settlement building video, then you must be a fucking trooper. You're awesome anyway because you're watching my video, so there you go. But check this out. I mean, look at this view. I mean, I did this on here. Let me. There we go. I mean, how can you hate that? Like, the starport blends in perfectly. The observatory does not look out of place at all. Like, it all looks like it belongs, at least in my eyes. You know, call me stupid or, you know, make fun of me, but if you're this far into the video, then like, who's the real loser, right? Anyway, that's my jam, my town, my lighthouse, my settlement. Those are some ideas you can do. As you can see by the walls in that are carved out there, the settlement is stamped down in a region, and you can see where it is, and you know, basically build outside of it like I did. Find a spot where you can, like, I highly doubt that it's gonna put buildings up on the cliff since it's stamped down, so I figured build on the cliffside. You should be good up there, and it looks good. You know, do whatever you want. Be the master of your own domain. Find a good planet, find a good, you know, whatever it is that you like. It's funny because this planet is actually, it's called Magenta P in the game because I remember when I discovered it, I was naming it Magenta Prime, but I was holding my baby daughter, and she kicked the controller as I was typing it, and it hit the trigger, and it, you know, hit OK, and then it saved it as Magenta P, and I was like, ah, damn it. But now I don't mind. I usually like to keep all my naming structures pretty tight, but you know how sometimes it is in the game, it resets names, or like you hit, you know, upload all, and it uploads a bunch of stuff, and then the names are permanently changed, and then you go back, you find a planet, and you're like, oh, this planet's cool, let me name it. Oh, I already did. Oops. So, watching, like I said, you guys are awesome. If you're watching this shit, I'm thinking about doing like more build type, like as I'm building videos, but I don't want to, like, I don't know. If you like that sort of thing, let me know, because I have a couple more builds I'm working on. Like I said, I have a truck stop that has a nightclub, and I have a planetary archive that basically also has a nightclub, and I'm good now that there's a new update and new building parts. I'm gonna actually redo it because it would look better if I use some of the new base parts. So if that's the kind of thing that you like, let me know, because I'll make more. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.